Today on Southern Keto, we're gonna make something that frankly ain't Southern at all. But what it is delicious. And if you're here and you're watching this video and you make it, it's gonna be one of your favorites, just like it is mine. I'm gonna show you how to put it together right after this. So I said clam chowder is not Southern, but I did grow up eating a lot of it because Campbell's made it. And my mom loved some Campbell's soup. So we would have that a lot when I was a kid, but it wasn't anything like this. This recipe has been perfected, so I didn't even try to do a Campbell's copycat recipe because this is so much better. And I couldn't find any Campbell's in my grocery store, but this one's probably actually a little bit better. But look at that, 42 grams of carbs in this bad boy. And it's got bioengineered food ingredients, whatever those are. So I'm going to show you how to make this one so much better. Another thing that might make it a little Southern is that my wife is from Maine originally, but she's been down here longer than she's been up there. So I call her an honorary Southerner. Now I didn't say ornery, I said honorary. So don't get that messed up. Anyway, they have all the lobster, all the crab, all the shrimps, and most importantly for this recipe, they have all the clams up there. So we're going to take those clams from up north, bring them down south, and I'm going to show you my version of the ultimate clam chowder. Y'all are really going to love it, so let me go ahead and get these ingredients together so I can show you how to make it. Here are all the ingredients you're going to need to make this clam chowder. You need a good olive oil, and when you're looking for an olive oil, find one that only has one country of origin on it. If not, you don't know what you're getting, and it may not even be olive oil. You're gonna need some celery. You're gonna need an onion, and I'm gonna dice those up to a large dice using my chopper. And if you haven't seen this, I'll put a link to it down in the description. And it also is really good, as somebody pointed out in one of my comments. If you have arthritis and you haven't quite beaten that yet on keto, it's a lifesaver for chopping. You're gonna need some butter. You're gonna need some almond flour. You're gonna need bay leaves. You're gonna need some ground thyme. You're gonna need 6 bottles of this clam juice. This is the Bar Harbor. My wife was from right around Bar Harbor. I think up there, they pronounce it like Bahaba or something like that. So no, I don't have an accent. You got an accent. You're gonna need some heavy cream. One of my favorite ingredients, some bacon. This is the zero sugar. This is our Carolina Pride. Loved by generations. But of course, if you can't find this, your bacon will do. You're gonna need some salt and some pepper. This is gonna be to taste. You're gonna need 8 cans of these clams. You're gonna need 3 bunches of radishes. And the last thing you're gonna need is some Italian parsley, fresh. And I know you're thinking this is weird, but this is my little trick. If you haven't seen it, you just take a glass, put about 1 inch of water in the bottom, chop the stems right there, drop the parsley right in that water, and that'll keep this fresh for 3 or 4 weeks. Where normally you have to throw it away after a day or 2. And yeah, there's a few yellow leaves in there, but the majority of it is green, and it's been about 3 weeks. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep all my ingredients, measure out what I need to measure, chop up what I need to chop up, and then I'm gonna show you how to put it together as soon as I'm done with that. Now, if you're liking this clam chowder video, make sure you hit subscribe right down there and click that bell. And next time I do a video, you'll know all about it. Once this gets hot, we're gonna go ahead and put in our bacon. Now there's a couple different ways that you can tell that this olive oil is ready for the bacon. First one is your smeller. If you smell that olive oil, then it's time. If your smeller is not working, take a little bit of the water like this, drop it in, and if it sizzles, it's ready for the bacon. So let's throw the bacon in. We're just gonna cook this until it's about halfway cooked. You don't want it crispy because you don't want that kind of texture in there. You wanna keep a pretty soft texture throughout this chowder. So when that bacon starts to get a little bit brown like that, it's ready to go in with the celery and the onions. So we'll just dump those in, and we're gonna cook them until they're softened and a little bit translucent. This is also the time where you want to scrape the bottom of your pan. Make sure you get all those good bacon bits up, which will help improve the flavor even more. Now the celery and onions are soft and translucent, so I'm going to add the butter in. And we're going to let that melt so we can add in our flour and make the roux that's going to thicken up this chowder. Now that the butter's all melted, we'll go ahead and dump in the almond flour, give it a good stir, incorporate it all the way through this, and we're going to cook it for 4 or 5 minutes. You want it to be well incorporated, but not overcooked. I'll show you what it looks like. So after 4 or 5 minutes, this is what it looks like. It's kind of dried out a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and add in our clam juice. And you also want to scrape the bottom during this point, just to get all those bits out of the bottom to get even more flavor. You're also going to add in the juice, and only the juice from these canned clams. You don't want to add the other clams in yet because they'll just get rubbery. We're going to add those in at the end. After you've added in all your liquids, you just want to bring this up to a simmer and just stir it up every once in a while just to avoid any kind of lumps. Now that this is at a good simmer, I'm going to go ahead and dump in all the radishes. And we'll bring it back up to a simmer so that these can get nice and soft. This is our potato substitute. Now I'm just bringing this all the way up to a boil, and I'm going to lower it to a simmer so that these radishes can get nice and soft. So this has been simmering for probably 10 minutes. And the way you want to check these is take one of your larger radishes and you want it to be fork tender. And what that means is if you can easily stick the fork into it like that, it's ready. So now we're going to mix in our other ingredients and we're going to simmer it until it's time to eat. So now you want to add in your bay leaves. Go ahead and add your cream in. Add in your thyme and add in all the clams. We're going to heat this up, we're going to taste it and see if it needs any more salt and pepper. We'll be right back. So I tasted this and it needs a little bit of salt, not much, but it needs some pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, stir it around, and this will be ready to serve. So this is all ready. If you want it a little bit thicker, you can always add in some xanthan gum. And another tip, if you don't like this red color in there, you can always peel your radishes, but I don't mind it. I think it makes it a little more interesting. So I'm just going to serve this up. And like I said, if you want it a little more thick, more of a chowder, you can add some xanthan gum to thicken it up a little bit. But I think it is delicious, just like this. And one more thing, make sure you fish out these bay leaves. Nobody wants a big mouthful of that. This time of year, nothing's going to hit the spot like a nice bowl of warm clam chowder. Y'all let me know what you think when you make it. And if you're looking for something to go with it, the perfect thing is this cheddar bay biscuit recipe that I'm going to put right over here. I'll also put a playlist at the end that'll give you a whole lot more good ideas of things you can make to go with this. Thank you guys so much for watching, all the support you give me. Thank you for sharing my content with people that it can help. Take care of yourselves. Make yourself a nice bowl of soup, and I'll see you on the next video.